Happy Thursday, lovely humans. Today we will be talking about making two-way tables. Before we get into two-way tables, I first would like to go over how we will round to the nearest whole percentage when using decimals and fractions. First, let's look at decimals. Our first decimal is 0.98 or 98 hundredths. What we want to do is take this decimal and move it 2 places to the right. 1, 2, and it will go right next to that 8. So notice how now our numbers are on the left-hand side of that decimal. That means our 2 numbers here are now whole numbers, and our percentage is 98%. Moving on to 0.4 or 4 tenths. Let's move that decimal 2 places to the right. Now notice how we don't have a number here to the right of our 4. What we're going to do is add a placeholder, and that placeholder will always be 0. So our percentage for this is 40%. Lastly, let's look at 0.746 or 746 thousandths. So now that there's 3 numbers, let's not get confused, okay? We're still going to move that decimal only 2 places to the right, okay? So we might look at this and think, okay, 74.6%. But when we're rounding, we still need to look at the number next to our place value spot, okay? So we're looking at that 6 right now. And since 6 is greater than 5, our percentage will actually be 75. Whoops. There we go. So that 4 rounds up to a 5. Now let's move down to our fractions. You will see a few of these on your class kick. There we go. So 2 in 4 people said they preferred TikTok over YouTube. What percent is that? First, let's put this in fraction form. 2 in 4 comes out to be 2/4. When you plug this into your calculator, you should get the decimal 0.5. So if we take that decimal and move it 2 places to the right, add in that placeholder, we come out to have the percentage as 50%. Now that we have our whole percentages down, let's move over to those two-way tables. Students were asked if they played football or not, and if they played baseball or not. We are going to use our top table to fill in the percentages of our bottom table. So let's look at the students who played football and baseball. So the students that played both were 10 students. Now it's super important that you locate the overall total on our table. Usually it will be in this bottom right-hand corner. Notice how we have our total here and our total here, and they kind of meet right at that 50. This means that 50 students were surveyed on if they played football or baseball or neither. So what we're going to do here with these 2 numbers is we want to divide them. So we have 10 divided by 50, and you will get 0.2. If you were to move that decimal 2 places to the right, your whole percentage will come out to be 20%. Let's look at our students who played baseball and did not play football. We have 8 students. We want to divide that by the total students of 50, and we will get 0.16. Let's move that decimal 2 places to the right, and our whole percentage is 16%. And we're going to do that with the entire table. So I went ahead and filled in the rest of the chart just to save some time. But notice here how I did not fill in this last percentage for our overall total. So let's take our overall total of 50 divided by 50. And we know if we take a number and divide it by itself, we will get the number 1. Now 1 is a whole number, and we want to round to the nearest whole percentage. Now 1 is not our nearest whole percentage. We still need to move that decimal over 2 places to the right. I'm going to write down here, if we have a 1, our decimal is to the right-hand side. We still want to move that, right? So we're going to go 1, 2. It is now all the way over here. We still need to add in those placeholders of our 2 zeros. Now notice how our whole number is 100. So when we have a fraction of a number divided by itself, it's going to come out as 100%. So this is saying that 100% of our total students. All right, 8th graders, go right ahead and get started on that independent work. Have a good day.